Welcome to Bridges World News. I'm Ken Oda. Bridges Television is now mounting a campaign to try to stay alive, as after March 15th, the television station is set to be dropped by its major carrier, Verizon Fios. Those who are supporting Bridges TV can sign up at the website that you see below to sign a petition in support of Bridges TV. Here to talk about the effort to keep Bridges Television alive so you can continue to watch, we are talking with the general manager, Junaid Baliwala. Junaid, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Even as we see this campaign in support of Bridges TV, we're seeing counter petitions out there right now. We've been talking about this at the station. Counter petitions that want to see Bridges TV shut down for some reason. Why is that, do you think?
Well, frankly, I'm surprised that it is even out there. If you look at our programming, if these people have truly seen our programming, you see that it's a variety of different things. One of our most popular shows is actually hosted by a rabbi. So I don't know where this is coming from. And as a challenge to these people who are creating these counter petitions, I would invite them to watch our channel, to see our programming and what it actually stands for, the mission that it stands for, rather than spewing, making these blanket statements that create more hate.
And certainly that was one of the original ideas, was to create dialogue between those who have preconceptions about Islam and about moderate Muslims.
Correct.
How did the station get started, and how did the idea come about in the first place?
Well, it had very humble beginnings, very meager beginnings, if you may. We started, it was Assia Zubair. It was her idea, a post 9/11 idea, to create a media outlet for Muslims and also for Americans at large to find out more about Muslims. So it started off in Buffalo in their home. Their living room were our offices, dining room was our studio, and editing suites were was in the basement. So in that sense, very humble beginning, much like any other company that would get started. And then we made that challenge, but the challenge was a lot of people still did not want us on air, even at that time. To be put up was a huge challenge on Comcast, on Dish Network, on Verizon Fios. So it wasn't an easy road, but eventually, we made that leap, and we came to a bigger studio, and eventually here in Long Island City, New York.
And certainly the biggest challenge that Bridges TV has faced while it was upstate was the murder of Assia Zubair, and how that has continued to stay in the headlines, even as Bridges Television is being followed by the media in the current situation. It inevitably goes back to the murder of Assia Zubair by her husband. How do you overcome that?
It is being made tougher than it should be. These actions were solely an action of one man, and his whatever rage or whatever condition that he was in that made him do this. I think people forget that the mission of Bridges TV is much bigger than that. Whatever he did was on his own accord. So when people sort of keep bringing that up, it's frankly sad, because Bridges TV has moved past that, and in no way do we ever condone such a thing to begin with. And then you tie this to a single religion is even more pathetic in a way, because you had people who have done this in the past too. You had Timothy McVeigh, you had the Unabomber, but these were lunatics. But somehow when this guy did it, it became a problem for all Muslims living in this United States, or for the world for that matter. And I think it's just sad. So how do you overcome it? Through programming. We keep bringing you programming that create a dialogue, your interfaith shows, your travel shows that show people more than what is being portrayed here in the media.
And going back to the initial mission, has that kept you essentially fighting for what was conceived in the first place, despite the incredible tragedy that took place?
Well, that is the only thing that has kept us going. The group of us, the employees, came together when this happened, and we said, well, we could all just go away, walk away, and the channel would just disappear, or we could keep Assia's memory alive. And that is the single most important thing that keeps Bridges TV going, is her mission to dispel stereotypes. And sadly, this is exactly what is happening right now with these counter petitions and these other ways that Bridges TV is getting defined, is what Bridges TV was created to do, to dispel these. Yes, to answer your question, is that her mission is what needs to keep going is much bigger than the actions of one person and what had happened.
And you feel that Bridges needs to stay on television above all, not just as an internet platform?
Well, definitely. How could you have a channel or channels that are out there that are creating fear, that are creating these stereotypes or misinformation, and then not have a counter channel on the same platform? You know, you cannot have one channel that's doing, let's say, creating fear and giving people misinformation, and the other channel on a completely different platform where it might not have access to public at large. So it's very important for a channel like Bridges TV to stay on air on television, because it is a much broader platform at this point and a lot more people watching it.
And once again, to join the fight to help Bridges TV stay on after March 15th, the website at the bottom of the screen. Junaid Baliwala, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Please continue to keep it here at Bridges TV. We have more Bridges World News coming up.